Hi everybody, my name is Dex. I'm from TrueSight Selling, and today we're going to do a video on questions that I received from our viewers. And without further ado, let's start. I received quite a number of questions on common objections, so I picked 4 of them, which has the highest number of people asking. Okay, the first objection: I already have insurance. Now, I think this is a very common objection that we hear, because it's true. Everybody in today's world, almost everybody have some sort of insurance somewhere. All right. Now, when I look at this objection, the first thing that comes to my mind, the question is, when did this objection come about? Is it during the prospecting stage, whereby you give the client a call, introducing yourself, and then the prospect say that he or she already got insurance? Or is it an objection during the closing? My guess is this is more, or rather my take, all right? This is more towards prospecting kind of objection, whereby you want to meet up with the prospect and the prospect tells you that, I already have insurance. In my 21 years, or rather in my 22 years career, I have never encountered that during the closing. All right. So, okay, let's look at this from the perspective whereby it's from prospecting. Now, when people say they have insurance, yes, on one hand it's true. They most probably already have it. But on the other hand, this is more like insurance just to, or this is just, this statement, they are more interested in just ending the phone call using this statement, whereby, oh, do you have insurance? I'm Dex from blah 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 insurance company. Hope to speak to you with regards to your insurance planning. Oh, Dex, I already have insurance. So that's to tell you that I do not wish to meet. I don't need any planning. I don't need to meet you. Basically, that's what it means. Okay, for this objection, if you are thinking that there is a very smart answer to counter it, maybe there is, all right? But because to me, this is not about what he said. This is not about him already having insurance. This is about the prospect don't want to meet, right? Because most probably he don't know you, right? I don't think this objection can be answered, can be handled so easily. But is there no other way to go about it? The answer is no, all right? What I suggest is we try to go around it. For example, I don't just call people abruptly without them knowing who I am in the first place. Okay, because picture this: if you call someone for the very first time without them knowing exactly who you are, so the conversation can go something like this: Hi, my name is Dex, and I'm from ABC Insurance Company. John mentioned about you when we spoke, and he seems to feel that my ideas will be beneficial to you. So that's why I'm calling you to see if we can arrange a short meeting to discuss further about your insurance portfolio. So the answer will be what? Oh, Dex, I don't think we need to meet because I already have insurance, right? So that's what's happening. I'm sure that's what's been happening every single day, all right? This conversation is bound to happen every single day. Some agents definitely getting all these kind of objections every day. What I prefer to do gets me around this kind of objection is, normally I'll try to ask my client to let the prospect know that I'll be calling and in advance, so that when I call, the prospect already know who I am and what's my intent. And most of the time, because of the way I do it, by the time I call them, or rather I'm more likely than not in being successful in securing the appointment, is because I told my prospect, or rather I told my client, if they have a very strong objection and resistance towards me calling, I won't call, right? But of course, with my client's recommendation, they tend to be more open to meet me. That's why for me is the quality of the referral is very important, because if you don't have quality referrals, this will be the punishment for not having quality referrals, because this is what they'll tell you every single day, every day of the week. Oh, I already got insurance. See, it's such a simple way of rejecting. It's like if I walk past a booth where they are selling their credit cards, they're asking you to sign up for their credit card. You know, my way of rejecting them flat will be, oh, sorry, I'm a bankruptcy, so I cannot sign up for the credit card. That's it. There's nothing else they can say, right? So to me, this objection about I already have insurance is somewhat like that. And of course, I've heard of many people trying, just to give the standard answer to the objection. Oh yeah, I'm sure you already have insurance, but maybe we can still meet up, and so that I have a chance to do a review for you, a free review for you, and maybe we can uncover some gaps, or maybe there are some changes in your financial objectives, etc. But to me, these are really to me, it's quite useless. I mean, this kind of answer, because to me, the real objection is the prospect don't know who you are and don't want to spend a single second with you. So even if you tell them, even if they want to do a review, even if they have a change in their financial objectives, their insurance objectives, they don't want to speak to you. That's the thing. So I want I want all of you to be very clear about this. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. If you get this, my suggestion is to move on, really. So my number one advice is avoid it. All right, do it in another way whereby you can avoid this objection, or totally just give up and move on. Don't waste time on this. All right. Okay, the next one will be insurance is too expensive. Okay, just to highlight. Okay, I'm doing all these objection handling without understanding the whole situation. So these are more like generic answers. Now, for every objection, right, it's not just the objection. The whole appointment, like what happened in the appointment, what was the discussion, what was the background of this person, all are very important. Because I give you an example. When somebody say no money, right? No money is a one-liner objection, but it means a lot of things, totally different things, right? It can be someone who, after the payday, they have to go drinking 3-4 times a week, and they are broke, but 1 week before the next payday, they have no money. Is it true? It's true. They have no money. But why? Because they got to go drinking and party, right? There's another kind of person that may give us the same objection of saying no money, but that person is like really hand to mouth. Okay, to the extent that maybe this person got to walk to work just to make ends meet. Okay, got to pay for everything that's to put food on the table, whatever it is, there is no money, and that's legit as well. So the way to handle these two objections are totally different. All right. So I just want you all to understand that this session, because we don't have the background story of how did the objection come about, so we can only use generic ways, or maybe a few ways to I can give you a few answers so you see which one helps you in your appointment, right? Okay. Insurance is too expensive. Insurance is always expensive, right? And that's why we need to ask people to buy them. If the insurance is cheap, then we would never have to face this at all, right? Or rather, maybe you and I don't even have a job to sell because it's so cheap, everybody just buy it off the shelf, right? Now, insurance is too expensive. The straightforward way, all right, the hard and fast way to handle that will be, okay, if you feel that's too expensive, then how much can you afford? Or at what price would you buy the insurance? Now, this is a very, very straightforward way of handling the objection, because I throw the ball back into its court, the prospect's court. So basically, I'm telling the prospect well, if it's too expensive, it's fine. So how much do you want to buy today? So this becomes another closing question immediately. So how much do you want to buy today? 1,000 a year, 2,000 a year? So that's one way, right? Very straightforward. But of course, when I do that, all right, ask them, so how much do you want to buy today, and we get it done. So normally this is to test whether is this a smoke screen objection or is it a legit objection. Because sometimes they may come and tell me, no, because you see, I already told them you can buy whatever you want, right? It can be like $1,000 or even $500 a year. And that's where for people who use this as a smoke screen objection, they will come up with other objections. What we want to do is to uncover the real objection and handle the real objection, right? So sometimes they will say that, yeah, but then again, I don't know whether this plan is very suitable, etc. Sometimes this happens. So we need to do all these things, all right? We need to test, we need to check what is the real objection. We need to uncover it, right? Because that will be the one that makes the difference in whether you close the case or not. Okay, back to this. Insurance is too expensive. Now, is it because you're comparing it to other insurance company? Is it because it's taking a large bulk of your monthly expenses if you were to take up this plan that I propose? So we need to ask first. We need to clarify, all right? And for example, if let's say he says that like in terms of his budgeting is beyond his budgeting. Now, you see, I can spin off to a lot of situations, okay, and you slowly understand. When they say that this is expensive and because it's due to it exceeds their monthly budgeting, right? There is, okay, one part of it is like, okay, put it this way, let's say they earn $5,000 a month. They can only spare that amount every single month, all right? That's all they can do. And a lot of agents, they like to suddenly become so-called cash flow experts, teaching people how to spend their money. And my suggestion is never do that, all right? Even if the person tells you that he needs to drink 3 nights in a week, and that's where most of his money goes, do not try to change, do not try to give life advice that he should clean up his life and live a healthy life, stop wasting this money, sleep early, put the money into insurance. Don't ever do that, because most of us don't even listen to our mother on how we want to spend our money. How do you expect prospects to listen to you, right? So don't ever do that. A better way would be to still hit on the importance of buying this insurance, or the benefits of buying the insurance. That's more important, right? In every decision that we make in life, there's a push factor, there's a pull factor. Either we are pushed to do it, or there's a pull factor for us to make us want to do it, right? So, for example, a push factor, what can be a push factor? A push factor is, I had this client, okay, many years ago. His money income was just $700 a month. $700. He was going to buy a $250 per month plan from me. And I was the one who actually asked him. I mean, with that salary of yours, it's not easy to survive in Singapore, right? In a country like Singapore. Now, if you were to put aside $250 for insurance and you're left with like, what, $500 a month, isn't it going to be like a stretch for you? And his answer was very inspiring. It was a very simple answer, but the moment I hear it made me fully understand. When people know the importance of insurance, they will be more than willing to make that sacrifice, all right? So his answer was this. He said, yes, I know my pay is low and I don't have a lot left. In fact, I don't have anything. I don't have any asset. I don't have any savings. But I do know one thing. When something happens to me, because of this insurance that I bought, that I'm buying now, I know that I have a sum of money to depend on, because I have nobody else to depend on. This would be the only thing I can depend on. So when I hear that, I was very inspired, really, because all these objections about insurance is too expensive, etc., to me, it's a it becomes a smokescreen objection. Because like my very first way of handling it, like I say, if this is too expensive, then how much do you want to part with today? How much insurance do you want to buy today? If that is too expensive, tell me a figure that you're comfortable with. That would have solved it, right? My suggestion is focus on the push factor on based on this person's situation, why this person must buy, all right? Or pull factor, of course, whereby if you are able to share with them, like if they have this insurance, what kind of benefits will they or their loved ones get? What will they get if they have this insurance, right? So push or pull factor. So to sum it up, when people say that insurance is too expensive, challenge them, all right? Tell them what is considered not expensive and let's get that done today. Or focus on the needs that you think they will bite, all right? And keep punching on that hot button, okay? That's the advice that I give. I need to think about it. Okay, the next objection is I need to think about it. Now, this is a very common objection that I face, especially at the start of my career. Okay, most of the time, okay, looking back, most of the time I realized that this is more like a smokescreen objection. This is just an objection that they give so that they don't have to tell you a no, and so that they don't give you a chance to question them further or try to hard sell them further. So they tell you they think about it and then to go back, and after a while then they'll tell you no. Okay, based on my own experience, I'm very sure that it happens to a lot of people, to a lot of agents as well. So to me, I have to think about it. It's a smokescreen objections most of the time. Okay, because from the moment they leave the appointment, I don't think they are thinking about it. I don't think so. All right. So don't assume that like after the appointment they will think about it very hard. They'll think very hard about it on the way home, before they sleep, when they wake up. No, I don't believe so. How I will handle it is, again, okay, I will ask like what's behind your considerations? What are the things that you are going to think about? What is keeping you from making a decision now? So I'll try to help speed up the thinking process, and I want it to happen now in front of me, because if there's something genuine, a genuine concern that the prospect has, and I want to, if that's the case, I want to handle it then. I just want to make sure that this is not a smokescreen objection, and if it's something legit, I want to handle it now. Now that's the main thing. Okay, so I'll question, like maybe I'll prompt, are you afraid that you're making a hasty decision? Are you afraid of making a wrong decision? If it's wrong, why do you think it may be a wrong decision to take up this plan? So this will be things that I'll ask, because I know that the moment the prospect steps away from the table, 90% the sale is gone. 90% of the time, the sale is gone. But that being said, it doesn't mean that I'm going to force the prospect to make a decision now, right? I'm not going to be pushy, but I just want to make sure that because there are some people who are like that. There are people who never feel right making a decision immediately. They like to take a bit of time, maybe a few days to sit on it, and they come back to it again and they feel, okay, I think now I'm more assured that this shouldn't be a wrong decision. Okay, let's do it. There are people that are like that. I've met them, yes. There are people that are like that. But my objective will be to make sure that when they leave the table, okay, I already know what are they considering about, and I already give them the answers for them to consider, to make an informed decision. And of course, after I have to wait for them, cross my fingers, wait for them to come back and hopefully give me a positive answer. And I tell you, really, for most of my cases, or rather for most of the people who gave me this objection and are legit, and these are really legit objections that they want to think about it, when I keep them at the table, I answer their queries even if they still want to go back and think about it, most of the time they come back and they will still buy. That's from my experience, okay? But if you didn't question them and they allow them to leave, you don't even know whether it is a smokescreen objection. Chances are it is, they'll not come back. The sale is gone the moment they leave the table, right? So take note. Okay, the next one. I don't trust insurance companies. Okay, this is very common as well. Okay, this is very common. Even until today, even until now, I in fact, just I have this objection just a few days back actually. But they didn't specifically say that they don't trust insurance company, but it came in a way whereby say, hey, I heard that like insurance company, they may not pay, you know, when a claim arises. You know, I can buy now, but when I want to claim something, they may not pay. So in other words, of course, it's something similar. What they're saying is, I don't trust insurance companies, you know, so they don't pay. Or maybe what they mean is like, I don't trust insurance company, maybe they, you know, the company may collapse, they are bankrupt, etc. But that's highly unlikely, especially in Singapore, all right? Because insurance companies in Singapore are highly regulated by the government. So until today, there are only companies that they cease their operations here and they move overseas, but their insurance policies are taken over by another insurance company. So especially if you're in Singapore, this is not a concern at all, right? So it's easier to answer if that was the reason they say, if that's what they mean by I don't trust insurance company. But if this statement is more towards about worrying about the claims, which is what I feel it is, then of course, what's the best way to know? The best way to know is to buy the plan now and make a claim. And that's where you know, right? But of course, on a serious note, there are a few things, okay, that I mean, these are not things that, I mean, I can show them maybe our claims history, etc. Now, if they don't believe you, they don't believe you. Because everything that you show them, it can be fabricated. They don't even know whether it's the truth or not. So, on one hand, I mean, the number one thing is to build trust between you and this prospect, right? So that this prospect can believe what you say. So for me, I like to use more generic examples to establish trust, or rather create a leverage, so that these are things that when prospects hear, they feel that, yeah, it makes sense. Not that I have something, not that I can prove it, but yeah, it makes sense. So one of the things that I like to say will be like, okay, first thing first, the insurance company that I'm representing has been operating here for so many years. Let's say, for example, 50 years. And over these 50 years, I'm sure you know that there'll be a lot of people buying from this company every day. And of course, there'll be a lot of claims happening every day. Now, if let's say this company only sells insurance policy but never approves a claim, do you think this company can survive 50 years? And do you think like you would have heard of this insurance company? What would you have heard of this insurance company? You would have just heard, I mean, or rather you may not even heard of this insurance company, right? If for the last 50 years, this is how they run their business. So it's pretty impossible. And I would say that like people, the clients who buy insurance policies from these companies, I'm sure there are people who are very highly educated as well, like maybe CEOs, doctors, lawyers, professionals. They will have been clients of this insurance company, and if this insurance company is not trustworthy, I'm very sure you won't be the person, you won't be the only person that don't want to buy and don't trust the insurance company. So there are things that we can see around us that we can believe, right? Like for example, like POSB, DBS is you can say that it's like the national bank in Singapore, right? Now, there are a lot of people who have bank accounts inside with POSB, DBS, you know, and there are many people who really have their life savings inside that account. I mean, that goes to show that they trust the bank, right? But do they know how much assets does DBS has? Do they know where their money are? Do they know how healthy this bank is in order for them to want to put money inside? Most of them don't. In fact, most of us don't know how good the bank is, how healthy the bank is, right? But because we know that, hey, this bank has been around for a very long time, everybody has an account with them, so how can they be not trustworthy, right? So I leverage on all these examples because I don't want to say things that, one, I cannot prove it. Two, I also don't want to say things that I can prove, but yet the prospect may not believe the things that I show them. So I try not to get into this kind of debates with them, but I want to assure them that whereby they are definitely, okay, buying insurance from a very trustworthy company, insurance company, for sure, all right? Okay, we have some questions from our viewers, okay, not about objections, but about how they do their work. Okay, let's go through the questions. Now, the first one, how do I effectively ask for referrals? Okay, I again, at the early part of my career, I was also under the impression that there must be some world champion level kind of script that I can use, and and when I use that, I'll definitely be able to get some referrals. I used to believe in that fairy tale, all right? Until I get better, I get more experience, then I realized that, hey, how do I effectively ask for referrals has nothing to do with how I say it. I can quote you some examples and you understand, okay? Now, if I can buy a Rolex watch at maybe not much, 30% discount, just 30% discount, okay? Because I think the market rate is about like maybe 6% discount, I don't know. But if I can get 30% discount, and let's say my friend knows that his friend wants to buy a Rolex, do you think it will be a snap of a finger whereby in a heartbeat, he will refer his friend to me, knowing that I can buy a Rolex at 30% off? And do you think the person that he referred will be happy that he was referred to me? Do you think so? Of course he will, right? So referral is not about how you ask, all right? It's really more than that. Now, in our business, first thing first, you want to be effective in getting referrals. First thing, you must be referable, all right? You must be someone that your friends, your family, your clients feel proud of referring you to their, or rather introducing you to people that they know. Or you must give them the confidence that you'll do one hell of a good job, then they'll be more than willing to refer their friends to you, because it makes them look good as well when you do a good job for their friend, right? That's the underlying thing. You must be good at what you're doing. You must give them a feeling that you're damn good, all right? So how do you let them know that? Is when you are doing business with them, they must have this thing. So the first thing, when you're talking about referral, it comes back to how you speak to your clients in the first place. Okay, it starts from there. You do a good job, you do a great job from there. By the time you want to ask for referrals, it'll be much easier, okay? And normally I give them reasons, okay, on why I need referrals from them. Okay, I'll tell them that the basis of my job, all right, the basis of my job depends a lot on trust, all right? So it's very difficult for me to stand along the street and try to sell my product, because, especially nowadays, right, because there are a lot of scams going around. So I need to work with people that are referred to me and people that they can trust, right? So I'll go along that line. I'll tell them that, okay, I need to work, I can only work with people who trust me, right? And I need to leverage on you because there will be people that trust you, right? And through you, and when they meet me, because you trust me and because they trust you, there's a higher chance for them to give me a chance for me to speak to them. Okay, I want to create this relationship. I want to make sure that my client knows very clearly, like, this is how things works. So I will need that, and that's why I need them to introduce me. I need them to introduce me to their friends. I need them to refer their friends to me, all right? Because of this reason. Yep. And also normally I tell them that I work exclusively with referrals. Exclusively. I don't do the cold market. I don't just walk up to random people on the street and try to sell them anything because they don't know who I am. But the situation is different whereby over here, whereby you know who I am, you know the kind of work that I do, you can be rest assured that whoever you refer will enjoy the same kind of the level of work and also the professionalism that you yourself benefited from. Yep, that's the thing. So it's easier in that sense to ask for referrals. And of course, last but not least, I'll tell them that yes, I'm not trying to make them responsible for my success or failure in my business, no. But I want them to think about how their friends, their loved ones will benefit if through him, through my client, they are able to speak to a professional who knows what they are doing, an experienced financial consultant to give them the quality advice and the right advice when they need it. Yep. That will be something that I will keep hitting on and make sure my clients know that, right? Okay, the next one, how can I handle clients who constantly delay decisions? Now this is something similar to what I mentioned just now when they say they want to think about it. Constantly delay decisions. I will assume that like it's the same. Most probably it's the same, all right? They want to think about it, you know. Okay, constantly delay decisions. To me, if I want to, the hard and fast way to do it, again, will be to ask them straight in the face, all right? What is it that make you delay, why that's making you delay your decision making? Ask them straight in the face, okay? Is it the price or whatever? Or ask them straightforward, like, what would make you decide easier? Or what can make you decide now? What do you want to see? What is it that make you hesitate? Just ask them so they can answer whatever questions and concerns that they have. First, you must be able to know what's the problem, right? Then you try to solve the problem. Why people constantly delay? Most probably either they do not want to buy and they don't know how to say no to you, or there are things that they want to check with others because they don't trust you enough. They want to verify and see whether whatever you say is true. Okay, that may be one of the reasons. Okay, for whatever it is, you must find out first. And after you find out, then it puts you in a better position to persuade the client to take up action now. Okay, and of course, don't do things like, hey, I know you need time to think about it, but life is very, unpredictable. Who knows, you may need the insurance tomorrow, etc. Please don't say this kind of thing. Because when you say this kind of thing, then you're not wrong by saying this kind of thing, but you're trying to threaten the client. Because if you're sitting across someone who say that to you, you feel that, wow, this person trying to threaten, trying to scare, like using this kind of tactic. So don't. Basically, refrain from saying all these kind of things. All right, don't. Once you say those kind of things, then it does more harm than good to your appointment. Okay, just take note of that. Okay, the next question is, how do I manage my time effectively while prospecting? How do I manage my time effectively while prospecting? My understanding of this question is maybe how do I use the minimum time and also use an effective way, because when the way is effective, it should be you should spend less time while prospecting, right? Okay, how do I manage my time effectively while prospecting? The answer is as simple as you put this as the most important thing that you need to do on top of everything else. That means you do this thing first. You allocate time to do your prospecting first before anything else. Because when you don't do that, because we are so easily reachable nowadays, right? So we can get a phone call, get a message, people want to talk to us, people need to ask us things, etc. People taking our time throughout the day. So first thing first, okay, you allocate a time, and it's important to make it the first task of the day, okay, of your work week or work day. Because there are some people who do prospecting on maybe first day of the week, or maybe on the Friday of the week for the next week, etc. Okay, I'm not sure. There are people who do it every day. There are people who's like prospecting is an everyday thing. Okay, but in any case, okay, you gotta make sure that you allocate the time and to do it, and of course during that time you do nothing else apart from prospecting, be it doing canvassing, be it doing calling, be it cold calling your clients, etc. Allocate that time and you do nothing else apart from doing that, then I think that will be a very effective way of managing your time. Not like so-called, maybe 5 minutes here, because sometimes prospecting you gotta get into the mood. Okay, of course there are seasoned players. You can wake them up at 3 a.m. and the moment they open their eyes, give them a call, give them a phone, they know what to do, they know how to prospect, etc. Okay, but for me, even after 20 over years, I prefer to get myself into the mood, okay, cut away all distractions, okay, psych myself up, put a smile on my face, make myself feel good, so that when I speak to people, I feel good as well. I don't feel nervous, edgy, just be very comfortable, have a conversation with people. That's about it. Now let me summarize, about objection handling, okay. Now, whatever objection it is, okay, my approach to it is more or less the same. Okay, first thing first, when you hear objection, okay, number one thing to do is to quantify it and qualify it. Quantify it, okay, what do I mean? I will ask, okay, let's say this person give me objection 1. Before I answer the objection, before I do anything to the objection, I will ask first, apart from this, is there any other things? Okay, is there any other things that's in your mind? So, actually there's also this thing, objection number 2, and also maybe objection number 3. So after that I'll ask, so apart from these 3 objections, or rather apart from these 3 concerns, are there anything else in your mind that you can think of that's stopping you from taking up the plan? Or, any way you want to put it, like, is there any other thing else that makes you afraid that you are making a wrong decision in taking up the plan? Okay, whichever way you want to put it. So after they say, just these 3. Okay, why do I do that? Because if I would have handled the first one, okay, then it may come with your second one, come with your third one, then fourth one, then fifth one, it never ends. So I want to quantify it so that, okay, I want the prospect to know if we were to handle these 3 objections, okay, that means if we get these 3 out of the way, you want to take up the plan, because that will be what I'm trying to set, the kind of understanding. Okay, so I quantify first. After that, I'll qualify. Okay, I'll ask about the objections, like just now the examples that I gave. No money, what do you mean by no money? No money because you spend a lot, no money because you don't have a lot to spend, no money because you have a lot of financial liabilities, duties that, what is it? What do you mean? So when I get a clear picture of that, then I will be able to handle the objection more accurately, because that's very important. Okay, because if you were to handle the objection in the wrong way, okay, what do I mean by wrong? Example, they say because they got to go party 3 times a week, and then and your way of handling the objection is try to go through the cash flow, tell them how to spend their money, then I think you're wasting your time. That's a very wrong way to do it. On the contrary, what I'll do is I'll tell them whereby, yes, you can still go to whatever you want, but why not you set aside some money for the insurance first? Because you do know the importance of it. You do know how important, regardless, like for example, I'll give you an example, regardless how tight you are, all right, how much you want to spend the money outside, you need a lock in your house, you need a lock. You don't have the money to buy the more expensive lock, it's fine. You buy the cheaper lock. Just make sure there's a lock to lock your gate so that you go out feeling safe. It doesn't make sense and you cannot go to the extent whereby you spend all your money to the extent that you can't even afford to buy a cheap lock to lock your door. Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense, right? So the real objection is to me is this person do not feel the insurance is important enough for him to part with some of the money that he spent in the clubs to buy some form of insurance. And come on, you know this, whereby very clear that you buy insurance, you will not spend so much money to buy insurance to the extent that you cannot go party anymore. You know, it doesn't make sense. Nobody will do that, especially this kind of person. All right, so this will be this will be the approach that I will take. Highlight the importance. Tell the person no matter what, you still must have this, and after that, you want to spend, just go and spend what you want, but you must buy this first, along that line. Okay, so quantify it first, and then qualify it, and then handle it in the right way. Okay, and for these questions, all these questions are actually covered in my course, where I give more detailed explanation and more scenarios and more explanation on how to handle all these objections, and also how to be effective in asking for referrals, how to handle clients, all these questions. Okay, I've come to more or less the end of this video. Okay, and I just want to say that in my course, I actually cover all these topics, all right, in details, in greater details. In my 20 over years, I've gathered a lot of, I faced these situations many times, and I've came up with many different ways to counter, to handle all these situations and objections. Feel free to find out more about my course on my website. The address will be in the link listed below. Feel free to visit my website and learn more about my online selling course, where you will get to learn, if you want to know more about how to handle such objections, how to avoid them, how to overcome them, and also how to be a more productive financial consultant, come over to my website and find out more about my course. Sign up for it, and I'll see you in my course real soon. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.